Testing, testing. Check 1, 2. Can you guys hear me? Starting in 3. All right, guys, one more minute here. Just setting things up. Hello, everybody. Grab your Diet Dr. Peppers and get ready to party. You guys want to do this? Everyone hit the like button. Make sure to bump the Harrison on top of that like button. Tap your old fantasy finger on top of that like button if you don't mind.
Yeah, he sets my body in motion. He knows how to turn things up.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Bachelor, the after show, live stream. Good song we got here. Cheers to you guys. My name is Dave Neal. How are you? Gonna work on the levels here. You guys ready to party? We got 210 viewers in the house. Good to see everybody here. We're almost to the final stretch. Let's get a song on here that's instrumentals here. All right, everybody in the chat room, good to see you. Sheriff Oz is in the house. Oh, wrong one here. Hold on, I got my soundboards. One more time. Sheriff Oz is in the house. There it is, folks. The moderator with the most. Ready to kick some people out. Susan Rich, good to see you. How are you, Susan? Consuela. A lot of good people. Julia, how are you, Julia? Julia says, I think it's pretty clear which girl had the fireworks for Fantasy Suites. There's our answer. I mean, come on. They blew the whole budget on those fireworks. I wonder if Matt James blew his whole budget on those fireworks too, if you know what I'm talking about. Wow. All right, folks, it's light here on the West Coast. Anyone here on the East Coast? Anyone checking in from the East Coast? Staying up nice and late? We always got a couple people cracked out on the East Coast. You took that Adderall too late. Can't go to bed. Just hanging with Dave Neal. Callie Girl says, Matt is tough to read. He already told Rachel he loves her. But you guys know how it is with past seasons, right? Where like you'll get the lead that'll tell two different women he loves them. I would be that guy. I'd want to be a people pleaser. I'd be the first lead who tells 15 different women he loves them. It's like, I love you. Hello, how are you? I love you. Goodbye. The PA. I'm like giving the PA a rose. Cut the crap is right.
You cut the crap.
Let's just cut the crap and get right into this thing. All right, we're all ready to go here. Do I have Abby Thomason in the room? Is Abby here? I'm taking attendance. So it's like, I just want to go to bed, but I got to show up because Dave's taking attendance. Ali Kalinowski. There's a nice Polish name for you. Dave, I think you'll love my voicemail. Super excited to catch your stream. Calling from Cali. Ali, what's your, you know what? We might as well just get right into the voicemails. You guys want to get right into these voicemails? Let's, look, we're going to have a whole lot to talk about here. The voicemails are piling up. I'm going to try to get into all of them. Oh, look, it looks like we have a lot of short ones. As you guys know, I've basically told y'all I'm not going to play voicemails longer than a minute unless we have the time. But I'm going to have to barrel through a few of these. There's a couple long ones. We'll have to see how it goes. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to get things off your chest in such a short amount of time. Matt is very hard to read, but the way he looked at her after she expressed her love was pretty transparent. Voicemails. You want to get right into voicemails? All right, let's get right into voicemails. Here we go. Let's play a voicemail. Let's go to Gemma. She just called in from Alaska. Gemma and Huey, some of my favorite people.
Hey, Dave. This is Gemma and Huey from Alaska. I just want to call and say that these were the 3 worst dates I can ever remember on the show, especially on the same episode. What was that? Like a foot, your feet in oatmeal date.
Yeah.
The most awkward camping date I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And awkward pottery. I don't know
pottery.
where they're getting at with these awful dates. But anyway, I just wanted to call and say that.
Well, thank you so much for calling. Did I get the end of that? Let's make sure.
Anyway, I just wanted to call and say that. And talk to you later. Thanks.
Gemma and Huey calling in from Alaska. Good friends Gemma and Huey. Not to be confused with our other friends in Alaska. We got a whole bunch of friends. Vincent, I know you're out there. But all of Alaska's out there just really tuning in to hear what we have to talk about. You know, someone, I think it was Vincent who mentioned after one of the last live streams that it's going to be a little bit of a bummer when the show's over because we've kind of built a nice little community over here. Now, look, I'm not saying I know what's going to happen, but maybe we can figure out a way to still live stream Monday nights. What do you guys think? Let me know. Maybe just keep the same time. We'll just still do it 10 o'clock. Give something for the late night people to do. I don't know. Maybe just a thought. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. Yeah, they put Bree in the woods. They got pottery lessons. There's nothing like getting ceramics stuck under your fingernails before a nice date. You know, they're out there just scrubbing each other with a brush. All right, here, let's go to Carly over here in Salt Lake City.
Dave, this is Carly from Salt Lake City. Just calling about tonight's episode. I just want to say I love Rachel. I know tons of people don't like her. She's getting all this shit about, the racist stuff that has happened. But I still think she's very genuine. Her apology was awesome, and I'm still rooting for her. I think that, the episode tonight was awesome, but I feel bad for Bree, but I still think in the end it's Rachel. So just want to say, love your show. Thanks. Bye.
Carly in Salt Lake City. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean,
hey,
look,
Dave, this is Carly.
If we're just judging by the show, Rachel's come out very well. And even if we're judging by Rachel's apology, I know people are very polarized by this, but Rachel seems like a person who wants to learn and do better. She seems to really be into Matt, and we'll see. We'll just have to see how that all ends because who knows how it's going to end. All right, this is Allie in California. Is this the same Allie that's in the chat room over there? Allie, Polish Allie, or is that somebody else? Let's see what Allie has to say.
Hi, Dave. This is Allie calling from California. I'm in the Sacramento area. And
I don't have anything to say about The Bachelor this time. I just wanted to let you know that you look like Tarzan's dad. Thanks so much. Love your show. Bye.
Tarzan's dad. I'll take Tarzan's dad. It's not the worst thing I've heard today. All right, Tarzan's dad. All right, there you go. Nothing like swinging from some vines, if you don't mind. Oh, is this Sheriff over here? Oh, we should have started with you, Sheriff. Here we go.
The Sheriff here is Oz. So I just want to say Michelle for president, and it's the first time in all my life of watching The Bachelor that I believe that he's in love with all three women. So it's the first time ever. So it's very interesting. And the Bachelor in Paradise will shoot in Canada in the summer. So I'm excited about that. Okay, thanks everyone. Bye.
Oz, everybody, the Sheriff. He wants Michelle for president. Look, I'm not hating that option. I don't hate that option at all. Let's get Michelle in for president. What do you guys think? Now, Bachelor in Paradise will shoot in Canada. I thought that was a Canadian version of Bachelor in Paradise. So the U.S. network show Bachelor is going to be shooting in Canada. Is that right? It's very fascinating. Now, according to Reality Steve, well, let's not do any Let's try not to do any spoilers in the comments section. I guess I need to be better at. I'm still kind of new, guys. So shut that off. I guess I'm still kind of new at telling you guys what we do and don't do. If the video is not specifically about spoilers, we try to keep it spoiler free. It's just we'll cross the bridge as we get there. You know, a lot of people know what's going to happen. So you want to pick a Tarzan's dad. Tarzan's dad. All right, let's see what Tarzan's dad. Is this a real guy? Tarzan's dad? Well, wait till I have my. I didn't know there was a real guy named Tarzan's dad, but I guess. I guess maybe maybe for 25,000 subscribers, I'll grow the whole thing out there for you. Is that what you guys want to see? Is that what you want to see? All right, let's do this. Let's go to Rach. Let's see who this is right here. This is someone's calling in from Colorado.
Dave, this is Reed out in Longmont, Colorado.
Reed.
I am Lisa Reed's roommate. Multiple Reeds. Hashtag Lisa Reed for Bachelorette. Yeah, so Michelle definitely knows. That's pretty much my biggest take on this evening. Other than that, I told Lisa I would leave a sweet voicemail for you.
Oh.
I hear you're at 25K subscribers. I'm freaking happy for you. I hope you guys have a wonderful live stream. I've been up for 30 hours because my job's ridiculous. So I hope you have a great night.
By the way, look at how these, this is what's wrong with my Instagram. And again, I'm a stand-up comic. Porn stars, burlesque dancers. It's really just anybody's game when you open up Instagram. This is a porn star who I believe also does stand-up comedy. Look, I don't know if you're supposed to call someone a porn star, but I was, wanted to address the elephant in the room, if you will. I was going to go to Lisa's. There it is. I was spelling your last name wrong. No wonder it wasn't popping up. Go back to this voicemail.
And yeah, that's what I got for you. Have a good one.
So that is Reed, Lisa Reed's roommate, and Reed says that he wants to get Lisa Reed for Bachelorette, but I think we got to get her on The Bachelor first. I think we need to get her on The Bachelor. So if Bradley Cooper and Timothée Chalamet had a baby, that's you, Dave. I've been told that about Timothée Chalamet. I was gonna say this. It's not too often that you tell somebody they look like an older version of something. It's usually like, oh, you look like a younger version of James Dean. It's never like you look like an older version of Timothée Chalamet. You can't say that to a girl. Imagine if I went up to a lady and was like, you look like an older version of Elle Fanning. She'd punch you in the face. All right, what do we got here? Hold on one second. We'll do something in the comment section going. I can't enter Canada. You're such a good spirit. I love it. These fantasy suites were lame. They didn't even call it that. Yeah. Oh, they didn't call it fantasy suites? I didn't even really notice. Sometimes something happens in the comment section, and I don't know if it's a big deal or not, and I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I don't know what's going on. Let's jump it back a little bit. So I said this, now that we got enough people in the chat, again, and please, and Oz in the comment section, just boot anybody if they have any sort of ruffling of feathers to this discussion we're about to have very quickly. I wanted every week to have some sort of social donations, something to a certain cause. And I did have somebody, I'm trying to get the number here, call in and had an interesting cause that I wanted to hear about. So let's just take this voicemail and then we'll talk about it for a second.
Dave, I'm calling from Minneapolis. And first of all, I'm very appreciative of all of the tremendous work you do on Bachelor reporting. It's just very much appreciated. I heard you talk last Bachelor voicemails about wanting to donate to a charity or do a pay it forward, and I'm calling with a request. We are entering a really dark time here in Minneapolis after just exiting one. The trial of George Floyd's murderer, Derek Chauvin, began today, March 8th, and I work for the National Lawyers Guild as well as Minnesota Uprising Arrestee Support. And we are just looking for all the eyes on us as we can get. We really need people paying attention to what's happening here, as well as donations made to the Lawyers Guild, so that we can continue to connect protest arrestees with quality representation. I would just really appreciate if you would be willing to talk about this today. Thank you so much for everything that you do. All right. Bye.
I appreciate you so much for calling. I did mention that I wanted to bring up, whatever issues are going on in our country, obviously ongoing. And as you had mentioned, people that get arrested just needing the right to equal representation. So much of, the legal world is built on how much money can you afford to be properly represented. So many people are given public defendants and they plead to things they shouldn't and this and that. And I'm not an expert in any of this, but if anybody would like, please screen grab this QR code. This is money that can go directly to the National Lawyers Guild Minnesota, where they can provide people in protest with proper representation. If anything we want in this country, it's that everyone is fairly represented. So just a nice thing. Thank you so much for that call. I'm down here in California. Unfortunately, I read the news and I stay up to date on things, but to have someone call in from Minnesota who's dedicating so much of their time to good causes, I thank you so much. I thank you that you would even consider, some chum like me covering Bachelor to even talk about this, because I don't know much about it. But please stay in touch. Again, screen grab this. I'll share it at the end. But this is National Lawyers Guild of Minnesota. And also you had posted this Minnesota Uprising Arrestee Support. Know your rights. And, everything in life in our country, it's about educating, knowing your rights, and equality. And that's what we're looking for. So thank you so much for that voicemail. It's nice to play a voicemail that it's actually about something other than, which of these contestants Matt James is banging. So I do appreciate you. Let's go back to some other voicemails here. Rachel from New York.
Hey, this is Rachel from New York. I just wanted to say that you're really the only reason I'm watching The Bachelor at this point, but I do think that Rachel is a good suit for Matt, and I think that he can really help her grow, especially with what's going on and everything like that. Hope you're doing well. Thanks. Bye.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rachel in New York. I appreciate your phone call. Let's go to...
Hey, Dave. This is Nomad Chica, a.k.a. Consuela, calling you from Portland, Oregon. So I feel so bad for Bree. What a classy exit. And what a shitty date she had in the woods. What was I going to say? Oh, I feel like from the very beginning, it was so obvious that Rachel and Bree were who Matt was into from the very first night. And I think that's why the show ended up focusing so much on all the drama and brought in extra women, because otherwise it would have just been the Rachel, Bree, and Matt show, which could have been just fine for us, but it's not the Bachelor. It's not the Bachelor formula. Thanks for the live stream.
I love that you say, thank you so much for calling. I love you go, that's just not the Bachelor formula. Yeah, like so often I'm like, why didn't they do this? Why didn't do that? Why did they bring in the dad? Why? It's just not the Bachelor formula. Thank you so much for the call. Back to New York City. Let's talk to Tia.
Hey, Dave. This is Tia from New York. One thing when I was watching the show tonight, I said to myself, I'm not sure who Rachel is, I know who Michelle is. I know she's a teacher. She loves her family. She's passionate about her students. I know Bree left a great steady job for the show and comes from, a family of strong women and spoke a lot about her upbringing. But when it comes to Rachel, I just simply don't know anything about her, what she does or what she's passionate about, unless I missed it on the show, but I watch it pretty closely. And if it's true that she wins, I think besides everything that happened, everything that came out about her, the show does a really bad job of setting her up for the win, I know Matt likes her, but I just don't see the specifics as to why. Nothing, on her, but
thank you so much for your call. I appreciate that. Yeah, there's a lot that the show misses. There's a lot that they were previewing that they didn't end up showing. And I'm trying to find the article here, and I don't have it offhand. But there is, maybe I can, you know what, maybe I've got it on my phone and I can throw it up there. I don't think that I do. It's not that big of a deal. But there is some conspiracies. I'll cover this tomorrow, that they edited out the morning after conversation with Rachel Kirkconnell. Did you guys hear about this? They didn't share the morning after conversation with her, and people were wondering why. Let me work a little hard. Let me try to figure that out. So let's do this. Edited out Rachel Kirkconnell morning after fantasy suite. My poor Google's like, I don't know what the hell you're trying to say. Okay, so this, of course, and all right, we're going back to the Sun. Why does the Sun even have this story? Bachelor fans insist crucial Rachel Kirkconnell's scenes were edited out after Matt James finalist accused of racism. As the final three women headed into the fantasy suite, important conversations previously shown in teasers were cut from tonight's, but look at all the pop-up ads, were cut from tonight's comments about tonight's show, notably Rachel's comments about race. Trying to get all these pop-ups out of the way. Get these freaking pop-ups out of the way. These smut rags and their pop-ups. So anyway, there were some thoughts as that Rachel had said things saying she doesn't see color, and people were upset they didn't even show Rachel's morning after. They're really trying to cut her out when possible. Who knows? Who knows what they're trying to do? This is one of those things we can have theories all day long, but we're just never going to know. We're never going to know what they're trying to do over there. Let's play some more voice mails. Here we go. Go to Rachel. A lot of Rachels. Is this a different Rachel from New York?
Hey, Dave. This is Rachel. I'm from upstate New York. I'm just calling to say I've been really sad the last week because most of your videos have included spoilers, and I hate spoilers, and I really just want to wait and see what happens. I mean, I have a pretty good idea of what happens, but I wish you wouldn't include spoilers. That sucks. That I can't watch the videos because I want to try to be surprised. Anyway, I love your channel. I love your videos. Thank you for everything you do. Okay, bye.
Well, thank you so much for calling. And here's Oz's PayPal. Everyone, moderator Oz, of course, as we know, he's kicking the trolls out. We got his link in the comment section, so make sure to support Oz over here. If anyone in the comment section has any advice for what I can do about that, I mean, I can't moderate every comment that people leave. It's just impossible. I make 5 videos a day. It's one of those things I might just have to tell people, don't watch my videos. If you really don't want to be spoiled, there's just I try to screen the calls, but there's so much out there right now about Rachel. Like, there's so much more out there this season than past seasons because of so much that's in the news within Bachelor Nation. How do you talk about Rachel without talking about her being a finalist? So spoiler warnings are used. I mean, yeah, Julie, don't I use spoiler warnings? For every video regarding the next Bachelorette, I use spoiler warnings. I don't know. So you're saying Rachel said, I do see color at the end of the day. Love is love. Something like that. And they had a good convo. So yeah, you're wondering where that was in the final. Sometimes, sometimes it's, sorry, I'm trying to, Jesus. This is what happens. I get so many tabs open. I just lose my mind. Rachel is, I get some crazy comments, folks. It's been a wild month. I'll tell you what, we got 16 million watch minutes this month. I'm getting crazy comments. I'm trying my best not to share spoilers, but I would say this: don't ever watch a live stream if you don't want to be spoiled, because we can catch them as we catch them, but callers are going to call in. I just can't screen it all. As far as spoilers, when it comes to my videos, I think I accidentally said a spoiler the other week, but it's I apologize. I won't harp on it. I'm not trying to.
Hi, Dave. This is Cheryl from Toronto. I watched the Fantasy Suite episode tonight, and I thought it was a little predictable that Bree was going home. I just happened to notice in their interaction, she was doing like all of the talking, and perhaps it was the editing. I don't know, but he really didn't have anything to say during their date, and again, it could have been the editing, but the connection just didn't seem that strong when she was the one talking, and he wasn't doing any talking. So that's it. Enjoy your content. Thanks so much.
Well,
Bye-bye.
thank you so much, Cheryl from Toronto. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's so hard to know who's what he's thinking. Matt's a very I'm sure you could edit any of these finalists to look like the winner, and we wouldn't know any different the way they're talking. So yeah, it's really hard to know. Let's go over to Stephanie from Holly Springs, Mississippi. Stephanie.
Hi, this is Stephanie from Holly Springs, Mississippi. I just wanted to talk about some of the awkward moments from tonight. At first, Matt's father seemed so blindsided when they first started talking. I don't think he expected to be talking about abandonment issues like that. He kind of seemed defensive at first. It felt like I was watching something I shouldn't at first, like when Ari broke it off with Becca on TV. And I'm really glad that they ended up hugging it out at the end. It seemed like a conversation that felt like he'd been wanting to have for a long time, so I thought that was really nice. Now, the most awkward moment ever, I nearly died when Michelle told the other ladies that her and Matt bathed each other in sticks of butter and took a milk bath and together, and then she just kind of giggled like a schoolgirl. And then that's my son in the background, sorry. And Rachel just, her tears just washed that smile right off Michelle's face. Sorry, my son keeps talking. Anyway, I just wanted to say that was just, I just cannot believe that. So anyway, bye y'all.
Well, thank you so much for calling in, Stephanie from Holly Springs, Mississippi. And tell your son he can chime in all he wants. We love to hear from your son. No worries there. You're very kind. Yeah, it was a very uncomfortable conversation with the dad. I'm going to make a standalone video about this tomorrow. Julie says the dad convo was so uncomfortable. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with uncomfortable conversations. Yes, the dad was caught off guard. He was not expecting, he thought this was going to be a fluff piece, and he was caught off guard. A lot of times, I think conversations that happen in the public eye can go better than if they were done privately. Tasha mentioned this to me as we were watching this. Tasha and I have our podcast, The Sap, and by doing it in sort of in front of other people, by having tough conversations where others are listening, you almost become a little bit more proper because you don't want your emotions to rule your opinions. And it can be very healthy, at least for us, maybe not for everyone. So for Matt to put his dad on the spot like this, there are plenty of reasons why this is not a good idea. But also, if this was the only way this conversation was going to happen, let it fly, baby. Let it fly. I think they were better off because of it. The dad was obviously defensive and said, his dad was killed when he was 5. As we know from Taylor Nolan, Dr. Kirkanda was talking about how people that are oppressed, people that hurt people, right? So when people that are wounded on the inside, they project those wounds onto others. So like bad dads pass that on to the next level. And you just want to cut that. And I was raised without a father. I'm going to have a complete unique aspect to that whole conversation tomorrow. Yeah, it's heavy. Yeah, it's uncomfortable, but that's kind of what we're here for. You expect to see some basic fantasy sweet thing. My ears, my eyes were watery. My ears were watery too. It was touching. Lisa said she fell asleep during this episode. It was awkward. Agreed, Jess, but I agree with Dave too. What did Jess say? Yeah, look, awkward's fine, right? Whatever. He's from Nigeria. Matt's dad, educated, yes. Milwaukee's. I like Rachel. She was bold, communicated her emotions, thoughts, and it looked like she is a little daredevil. That dad convo should have taken place in private prior to the season. He should have healed before he started dating people. No, it's a good point. Yeah, no, someone had mentioned that this conversation would have worked very good if they did it. This is what I wanted to share earlier. But someone had mentioned that their conversation would have worked just fine if they had done it, at the beginning of the season and then progressed. But it happened where it happened. We caught it now, and I'm happy that they aired it. I thought the whole thing was going to be that they were surprising Matt with his dad, but it actually turned out to be the opposite. It was more like they surprised his dad with the conversation. It looks like Matt knew what he was doing all along, and he had a lot of things he wanted to get off his chest. All right, let's go to Brianna over here from Santa Cruz, California.
This is Brianna calling from Santa Cruz, California. I have been playing some of your videos for my mom recently, and she says that you are what she calls a babe. And when I compared you to Luke Wilson, she was almost offended for you and said, he is much better looking than Luke Wilson. So I thought I'd pass along that message. Secondly, I also just wanted to sing your praises and tell you that I think that one of the reasons that people have been gravitating towards you recently is that you do such a great job of, really working through your feelings and, kind of just going through the motions and having this like stream of consciousness, talking through things as you go on and as you make videos and on your live streams. And I think that really goes to show how genuine you are and how you really do have great intentions, because most people aren't as willing to do that, and they kind of hold their cards closer to their chest, so to say. And so I think that's really great, and it really shows that you're here for the right reasons, as they say. Lastly, I just was wondering, you'll probably be playing this after we watch the Fantasy Suite episode, but I was wondering ahead of time whether you had any predictions as to whether or not Matt was going to sleep with any of the final three. Personally, I don't think he's going to have sex with anyone. Curious to hear your opinion. Keep up the great work. Talk to you soon.
Oh, well, Brianna, you shared so much kindness. I mean, listen, if anyone wonders, why I've been making so much content, it's because y'all have been filling up my love well. Y'all have been making me feel so dang special that we're just talking. And I do this. This is like a conversation I have with my best buddies, with Tasha. This is a conversation I have on the podcast. We talk all the time about stuff like this. Sometimes it can get heavy because, my opinions don't always reflect what other people think. I mean, I was thinking about this. I was thinking about getting a wall of people that I offended every week. There's someone who's mad at me for making a joke about ADD. There's someone who's mad at me for saying that Heather, or there's a lot of people that were mad that I said Heather's not in the same league as Matt James. There's people that are mad at me every week. But for every person that gets mad at me about something, calls me a fraud, this or that, someone like Brianna, kind of gets what I'm doing. So thank you so much, Brianna. I'll never ever pretend to be Taylor Nolan, where I know everything. I'm going to teach everybody everything. I had to Google Commonwealth today because I didn't know what a Commonwealth was. And I'm from Rhode Island, and I know Massachusetts is called the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Okay? So I don't pretend to know much of anything, but we'll work our way through it. We'll learn something together. Now we know what Egyptian toes look like. Sandy Lynn says, what did I just walk into? You just walked into a live stream. What do you clicked on the button. What do you think? Danielle says, yes, therapy saved me this year, hardest year of my life, and it has been a game changer. Well, Danielle, I'm glad. Thank you so much. Sunshine says, just many think, though, because the stigma I used to be embarrassed about needing help, but it's helped me big time. Must have missed what Jess said. Can't solve it all. Brianna says, I feel like the narrative of an absentee black father is why they chose Matt. So Matt posted, I guess this is a good time to talk about this. Again, we'll make a full video about this tomorrow, but Matt posted this. Tonight's convo with my dad was hard to experience, and it's just as hard to watch all this time later, especially knowing the world is watching with me. And not to interrupt that, but I want to thank whoever just donated. Vincent, thank you so much, Vincent. I appreciate you over there.
Can't handle the truth.
Appreciate you, Vincent.
You cut the crap.
Cut the crap, Vincent, please. Whenever Vincent donates, I tell him to cut the crap. Come on, that's too kind. Yeah, that's money for mutton chops. Oh, that's not the one. Where's the mutton chops one? There it is. Thank you so much. Oh, boy. Speaking of ADD, maybe I got it. Maybe I do. Maybe I've got ADD, so I can make fun of it, right? So anyway, tonight's convo with my dad was hard to experience. He said, I just wanted to say that too often we see dangerous stereotypes and negative depictions of black fathers in media, and they have consequences when presented without context. All I hope is that people watch that conversation with nuance, care, and also an understanding that there are real systemic issues at play. I'm so proud of myself for being vulnerable, and I'm so proud of my mother. I wouldn't be who I am without my dad. That's a fact. If we can take anything from this season, we're going to learn a lot. We learn a lot from a lot of seasons of The Bachelor. We learn about toxic love addiction, purity culture. We learn about, absentee fathers. I'm not going to get into this all tonight, but he posted a swipe up link right here. So it's a very long article with a lot of good information. I will be breaking this down. We will be talking about this. I don't have the experience, obviously, growing up as a person of color, but I did grow up without a father. I do know what it's like to feel different, and I also do know what it's like to have a mom that overcompensates and is the best mom in the world. Shout out to Connie. And also to my stepdad for taking me in, because that's just amazing. Stepdads are the best people in the world. Raising some other person's kid. Come on. Sunshine says, Dave, it's a live stream. What's your point? What did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss that says, Dave, it's a live stream? Jess, I don't know why she doesn't take them down. Are you talking about Taylor Nolan? Coke Zero runs my life, and I know it's bad. Okay, good. I don't know. Is Coke Zero that bad? Didn't mean for that to come across offensive. I meant you're going to drive yourself crazy. I know far fewer people who might not need therapy than the many who definitely do. I think therapy is more helpful than it's harmful, and it's important to find a therapist that maybe is recommended to you. Chronically, Brianna says, thanks, Dave. My mom and I are just as confused to what a Commonwealth is, but we're confused Californians. So what do we know? Exactly. California is not a Commonwealth. It's really a country. Danielle Bunker says, just saw it on her story. I think about the black absentee fathers and that she will be addressing it on some podcast. Chronically, Brianna says, we're also high AF. By the way, I don't want to spoil. Never mind. I was going to say a spoiler. Deanna says, as an African immigrant, if I did this to my parents, they would have cussed me out on live television because culturally that kind of stuff is unacceptable. His father was nice about it, though. Well, his father was very defensive at first, but then he got nice about it. But obviously, it's a heavy thing. You know, the dad, like you say, came from a world where his father was murdered when he was 5. You know, I stand by the idea that people try the best with the information they have. And luckily, Matt James knows he doesn't want to be like his father. And sometimes the best advice we get from our father is what not to do. Christine says, I hope Matt and his father... I lost that comment. Sorry. Sorry. The comments just disappeared. So let's play another one. Thank you so much for all these phone calls. Let's go to Jenny over here. Jenny from the block in Kentucky.
My name is Jenny. I'm calling from Kentucky about the Rachel Kirkconnell and Matt situation. I just wanted to state, what age should women and men learn about antebellum parties? Were they taught in high school, or were they taught in college by their professors or teachers? Because I was not blaming Rachel for racism. It's like blaming blaming a past child possibly.
I get your point. It's okay, Jenny. Jenny, I get you. I understand. Jenny just hung up on me. Jenny, I totally get you. You said you're okay. Oh, you called back. Yeah, Jenny, here's the deal. Yeah, I didn't learn about antebellum parties either, Jenny. Absolutely. We're not going to go backwards. We're going to go forward. There seems to be no standardized education happening in our country. Obviously, people in different states get taught different things. So the best we can do is understand that we're all flawed. Even if we knew what an antebellum party was, we're all flawed and we're all trying the best. And the point is, when you learn that you've done something wrong, try to do better. Try to do better. Let's go to Catherine over here. Catherine from Montreal. Oh, bonjour ce soir.
Hi, Dave. This is Catherine. I'm from Montreal, Canada. Hope you're doing well. So I just watched your video on Meghan Markle and the royal family with the Oprah Winfrey interview, and I just wanted to know what was your opinion on Shalyn Leister's video. She did a response video. I put it in the video you did on Meghan Markle, and I just wanted to know your response on that video that she did, because I find it really interesting, and I don't really like her point of view, so I just wanted yours about Shalyn Leister's video. Thank you.
So I'm sorry. I just played your voicemail and I have no idea what video you're talking about, so I'll check it out. But if anyone wants to watch, I was actually surprised. You know, a lot of times I make content and I try to make content that's not Bachelor related, and the algorithm just beats the hell out of it. It really does. You know, I'll make a non-Bachelor related story and I'll get like 500 views. So I was very surprised when today's video about Harry and Meghan got 1,400 views. So thank you, or 14,000 views, sorry. So thank you guys so much for checking that video out. It's a fascinating story. It is fascinating. I'm going to be making more Harry and Meghan videos. If you don't love the royal family, trust me, it's interesting. It's interesting what's happening like in live time. Like this is like, history in Netflix. There's a lot of, you watch the show, the show The Crown. It's interesting stuff watching historical fiction or historical nonfiction. Well, this is happening in real life and it is fascinating. So if you didn't watch the interview, it's just a tale about a husband and a wife that are trying to protect their family. And it just has to do with the royal family. Very fascinating. Thank you, Julie. You love Harry and Meghan too. Very fascinating. Diana says praying for Matt and his father to both heal and make amends because it is crucial, especially when Matt decides to have a family of his own in the future. Absolutely. Much agreed. So let's go back to some other comments here. Let's see. Rachel called again. Let's see what Rachel had to say.
Steve, this is Rachel again from upstate New York. I just wanted to say real quick about Matt's conversation with his dad. I just felt bad. Like, I felt like his dad had so much more to say. I know it was more about, Matt getting the apology and the closure he needed about his relationship with his dad, but I wish he could have heard his dad out, and I hope that they can do that in the future. I just felt like there was a lot more there that he needed to understand, and Matt needed to hear. Anyway, that's all. Bye.
Well, thank you so much, Rachel. And here's the deal. I'm sure they spoke for hours. I'm sure it was at least a 90-minute conversation that we watched in 4 minutes. So I would say that I'm sure the dad said what needed to be said, and we just didn't see it. I imagine they had a full conversation. But for purposes of editing, obviously it came out really quick. They didn't quarantine him and bring him all the way to Nemacolin, Pennsylvania, just to have a 3-minute convo. But I do understand what you're saying. I think with the father, when Matt James was talking and the father got up and broke the tension that they had and hugged him, that got me. Because the father knew, even as much as he had messed up, as kind of bad as a dad, as absentee as he has been, he knew it was in the right moment to just give his son a hug. And maybe they will improve, maybe they won't, but it was a good sign. It was a good sign that that's where they got. All right, back to Brianna from Santa Cruz. Did I play this already?
Hi, Dave. Brianna calling here from Santa Cruz, California. I'm here with my mom. We just watched tonight's episode, and she wants to let me know that she thinks you're a total babe, by the way. And we're just curious if you thought Matt had sex with any.
Did I already play this one? I must have already played that because it sounds. Do I think Matt had sex with anyone? Yeah, so definitely had sex with Rachel. I'm guessing he had sex with. What do you guys think? Is it? Let me ask you guys this, and leave a comment. Let me know. How many people do you think Matt should have sex with, or anybody as a lead of The Bachelor? Do you think it should be 3 or 2 or 1 or none? Assuming there isn't 4. There's usually 3 finalists here. Let me know. Yeah, Nomad Chica says, the dad getting up to hug totally got me too. Waterworks. L-Dog says, your recap was A1, Dave. You are the true jester of the Commonwealth. Oh, how funny. Me, old Dave Neal as the jester of the Commonwealth. Oh, that's good. You guys are good. Matt noted that it was a good starting point for him and his dad to have conversations in the future, so that's good. Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. Listen, guys. It is always good to have conversations. Even if they don't go necessarily the way you want, sometimes you got to have a tough conversation with your mom, your dad, your son, your brother, and it might not end well. It might not go the way you want, but something will work on them and will work on you in the gray area. You have the tough conversation. You unconditionally love each other. They want the best. You want the best. A lot of resentment. So much resentment happens in families. So much resentment. Like, we don't know what it was like for Matt James to feel how abandoned his mom was and have to deal with that and just harbor that hate. Maybe the dad was really struggling, and he just passed that on. He passed that kind of struggling energy on to his son, which is never healthy. But anyhow, let's go to Sherry Antoinette from Sacramento.
Hi,
Hi, Dave. Hi, YouTube. This is Cherie Antoinette. I'm an artist from Sacramento, and I just wanted to say I really liked the conversation that Matt had with his dad. It was a very hard conversation. I know the dad felt uncomfortable, but what a great way for Matt to get healing. And also, I really liked that we got to see different sides of Matt. I felt like when he was with Michelle, he was very reserved, mature, just relaxed. And then with Bree, he seemed very fun, just laughing a lot. And then with Rachel, he was very caring, very concerned, and very sweet. And I hope that he finds love. And also, I hope that him and his father can reconnect and start to build their relationship. So I really liked the episode tonight. Okay, have a good day. Bye.
Well, thank you so much. And to go back to the comment section here, I asked how many people should they be having sex with. D. Rob says 0. This isn't the place to have sex. If necessary, then 1. Only 1. The one you intend to choose. I wonder what the average is when it comes to contestants. Do you think the average is 2? I mean, I'm sure plenty have 3, but Hannah Brown had 2. I can't remember 2 anymore. I mean, Hannah Brown had multiple times with Pilot Pete, right, in the windmill there. But anyway, folks, you know what I mean? They went after it. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle Hannah Brown, I'll tell you that much. When I first started watching this show, I like to imagine that they built a fort together and stayed up all night learning about each other, but I've grown with the series. Pamela, how old were you when you first started watching the show? Were you young? It is crazy when you first start watching the show, and then you actually have to be like, oh wait, they're actually having, it's crazy to think. I remember when I used to watch Jersey Shore, and they would have sex. Obviously, they turn the cameras off, but it would just imply that they had sex, and I'd be like, I can't believe they're doing this. They're gonna have to tell their family this, and I guess at some point you cross the line, and you're just like, you know what, whatever. Let's just get over it. All right, let's go to our next caller. Are we out of the country here?
Hey, Dave, it's Shirley here. Just want to say, the only reason I listen to this silly little show of The Bachelor is because I've been such a huge fan of your work, and you make it really good and very tolerable. Tongue-tied there. But as a long-time fan, I myself am getting very defensive for you when people give you criticism. I've always been a fan of your humor and known it. So I just want to know, how do you cope with it? Because as a fan of yours, I'm getting offended for you. Anyway, keep doing what you're doing. You are not doing anything bad with the spoilers. Honestly, with this show, you could probably fart and you'd get a spoiler. But you're doing such a good job. So anyway, bye.
Thank you so much for the question. So to address negativity, I don't get upset if people say I suck. I'm kind of past caring about that, but what does bother me is when people will conflate what I say and boil it down into something that it's not. So obviously everyone has a different agenda. So like I said, somebody who's got ADD got mad that I mentioned ADD in a flippant way. I mean, if you guys know my recaps, I'm going to make fun of as many things as possible. And I've really toned it down over the years, but I'll never pretend to be anything that I'm not. And if I can find humor in a situation, I'm going to talk about it respectfully, or at least trying to be. So when people tell me I'm, the hate generally doesn't get to me. I think where I'm going with the channel is I'll start responding to comments for the first 30 minutes to an hour after I air an episode, and then I'm just going to try to turn it away because it can be very time consuming. Excuse me. But to be honest, there are things that do bother me in the comment section, and I've been kind of navigating what to do about that. This is one of the first few months where I've had a boatload of comments. I will never apologize for something that I'm not sorry for. I will never apologize for going for a joke. It doesn't mean I won't, I'll try my best to explain myself to somebody. I never want to hurt anybody. Obviously, when we have serious topics and then we have funny topics, it can be hard to jump between the two. But I do have to remember that where I come from, as sort of an irreverent person who's going to call the BS, that's where I'm at. I'm not your go-to shaman for a moral compass. I'll give you my opinion. We'll talk about it, but I do hours of content a day. And I'm just going to say something you're not going to agree with. I'm going to do it with good intention, and I'm going to just keep moving forward. I think there's a difference between people that are victims and versus people who feel offended, and there's a lot of people that feel offended for others, and I'm gonna try to navigate what is right, what is funny, and what connects us all. And I'm not gonna get it right all the time. So as long as I keep that authenticity to myself, I can't be upset if somebody tells me to go, F off or something in the comment section, because for the most part, people that get me. And I think the world's big enough that the people that get me, we can blaze our way forward. And the people that don't, hopefully they just leave me alone. Now, I've had a couple people that comment day after day after day with a differencing of opinion. And it's like, as long as you keep it respectful, I gotta be okay with it. I'm not trying to create an echo chamber. Call me out. But don't conflate what I'm saying, and try your best not to look at what I'm saying and spin it to fit your agenda. I'm preaching for guys like Chris Harrison. I'm preaching for them to talk so their words aren't mixed up. You make a statement and then it's fill in the blanks. So all I'm trying to do is let my words and my tone speak for what I mean. I don't know if that makes sense. I wasn't planning to give a speech about that. Hello, everybody. Grace says, keep doing you, Dave. No one's perfect. Oh, look. Yeah. I mean, look, it's not like there's a cancel Dave. It's just one person here, one person there. I'm getting 80 to 120,000 views a day. So if 3 people are really upset at me, that's not bad. And as the late, great Patrice O'Neal said, as a stand-up comedian, if you're not pissing off half the room, you're not doing a good job. Now, I'm not trying to piss people off for the sake of pissing people off. It's just, I'm going to go with what's coming out of my brain, and my brain fires in all directions. So if I'm making fun of something randomly, I don't edit it. Brittany says, I'm typing too. I'm just going too fast and hit send and then realize it doesn't make sense. Yeah, that says it all. Okay, sorry. I'm just trying to get through to what we're saying here. Civil discussion is, I lost that one. Civil discussion. Dave, you're awesome, and I can't stand when I see hate comments. I feel you're taken out of context at times because they don't know or get your sense of humor. Oh, thanks, Sunshine. And listen, again, I am not playing the victim. So I'm not doing what I'm accusing others of doing. I am not playing the victim. There's far more love than hate. But we do have a tendency to read the negativity and think that holds value in my heart. So unfortunately, as much as I've wanted to police the comment section and treat the comment section as if it's like my personal cocktail party, and if I don't like the way someone's behaving in my party, it's like, you gotta go. But maybe the comment section isn't for me. Maybe I stop in, I say a few things, and I let that be for other people. I don't want it to become a dumpster fire, but at the same time, we're not here necessarily for the comment section. Now, the live stream chat, you guys are great. I want to kick any trolls out of live stream chat, but the comment section of my YouTube channel, it is thousands of comments a day. I can only, get to a few of them. So for the people that don't like me or want to attack me, I've yet to block anybody. I have never blocked someone on YouTube, but I've come very close when people will comment 50 different comments how much they don't like me, and I'm just like, oh, I'm not even mad that they don't like me. I'm just like, why are you doing this? You're wasting my time. It's so funny, as a stand-up comedian, I am so vanilla. My stand-up is not controversial. It's very rarely taken out of context, but online, there's a lot of people that are just listening to what you're saying. So I don't want to harp on it any longer. I think you guys get me. Katie Edwards with the $5. Thank you so much, Katie. I appreciate that, Katie.
You cut the crap.
You can't please everyone, and your way of articulating is so wholesome, respectful, and kind. Keep doing you, Dave. You know what, Katie? Thank you so much. It's comments like that's my guiding compass. It really is. Hearing stuff like that. Thank you. You guys, you, Vincent, everyone out there, Alaska's really got my back. Sorry, I can't get to everyone here. If sex is something important to one or both people involved, then they'll want to explore it. Yeah, absolutely. At some point as you grow, you won't be able to manage it all. Annie, you're absolutely right. Dave, love how you interact with your live stream. It's great. Thank you. It is a challenge to talk and read at the same time. Emily says, going back to the sex thing, it really depends on how important sex is to the people involved. Some people want to know how the sex is going to be for the rest of their life. Absolutely. It's a weird show. It's interesting. It's unique. It's in no other world do you have to date a bunch of people and have sex with them on, just off a camera and this and that. It's a strange show. So I have no moral sort of guidepost for what people should be doing in their fantasy suites. I would say this: if you know someone's not going to be the one you choose, like if you know it's not going to be them, probably shouldn't have sex. But if you're like, oh, I really like Michelle, I really like Rachel, and it could come down to the coin flip of who's the best sexual chemistry. That's a component of a relationship that, as we've mentioned, is very important. Alrighty, over here. Diana says, when Matt James' father became defensive, his accent came through, so I knew he was a foreigner. But the minute I heard the pronunciation of a few words, I was like, yeah, wasn't that interesting? At first, I didn't hear it, and then you could start to hear him coming back. I love the psychology of that. How like when you get drunk, a lot of times you go back to like your native slang. Or you should hear Tasha when she's had a glass of wine. She's like, I'm from Kentucky, All right. Okay, a couple more here. Alexi from Toronto. Let's go to Alexi.
Hey Dave, this is Lexi from Toronto, Ontario. I just wanted to say my thoughts on today's episode. I personally feel like when the cameras turned off, Matt told Rachel, like, I'm going to pick you. Because, he's the only one that, he only said I love you to her, and you can tell how happy he is when they see each other. And he saved her for last. Like, I feel like, oh, you saved the best for last. And at the rose ceremony, she just, like, knew. She's, like, so confident. I want to know everyone else's thoughts and yours. Have a great night. Bye.
Oh, thanks, Alexi. You sound like you're battling a little cold over there in Toronto, Alexi. Are you okay? Come down to sunny Southern California. We'll warm you right up. You're absolutely right. Rachel looked so calm. Either the sex was really good or she just knew she was getting picked. She looked very calm. But she didn't look calm before the fantasy suite date. So I wonder, Matt James, I think he said he kept her date last so that she could recover from her fall. I mean, she got really hurt. This will be very fascinating to hear her side of what happened when all the contracts are said and done. L-Dog says, Dave, you know how much you mean to me. You are a blessing to a lot of people. Oh, L-Dog, well, thank you so much. I have loved our communication, L-Dog. We are working on merchandise. I'm really excited to share it with people. I'm really excited to share your artwork, and what the community is that we have here is very special to me. Actually, L-Dog, I'll use this opportunity to promote my MailChimp. Now, MailChimp is just a free newsletter site that you can use. Like you won't know this, but for me, I use it to compile email addresses. It's very simple. So how it works is there's a link that I post in the description, and you just literally type in your name and your email address. Maybe you hit like that capture thing. You hit a fire hydrant to show you're a human, and all of your emails go to me. So I got 120 new emails this week. Now, the reason I say this is because I'm going to be starting to send out a weekly newsletter. It's going to include behind the scenes photos, things I'm talking about, just special perks. It's going to include new merchandise. I'm going to give it to the newsletter first, and also tour dates. As I've mentioned in a few other videos, when the world opens back up, I do plan on doing some sort of Bachelor-themed stand-up tour, going to different cities like Milwaukee, Boston, Nashville, Austin, Chicago, Atlanta, all the hot spots that you perform stand-up comedy. My goal is to either do 99-seat theaters or whatever the size of the venue may be, have fun stand-up shows, do Q&As. If there's any local Bachelor contestants that live in that market, maybe invite them over. I told Katie this, that, Katie from this current season, The Bachelor, thank you for your feedback. She's so funny. I asked her if she's done stand-up comedy before, and she said she was actually going to get involved into stand-up this past year, but because of the pandemic, never did. And I was like, I'll tell you what, if I'm performing in a city that Katie's in, I'm going to make her get on stage and share some of her stories because she's really funny. So anyway, folks, the link to that is in all of my past videos, and it'll be in this one. But it's free. I'm just compiling email links because, God forbid, something happens to your YouTube channel. YouTube's so algorithm driven, and I really mean this, you don't even get to see half the videos I make. You know, YouTube decides which you see, even if you have my little alert set up. So the best thing you guys can do is join my email list. That way, you know, if I really need to reach out to you guys, I can go straight to the source. So anyway, guys, yeah, Seattle, Vancouver. Anyway, so let's get involved here. Let's play a few more here. Got to go in about 5 or 10 minutes. These will be the last few. So here's Madeline calling. Is it Madeline? Let's see what Madeline has to say.
Hi, Dave. This is Madeline calling, and I'm watching your live right now. And I just was thinking about how people were asking if Matt slept with multiple people, and I just thought it was funny because I watch Andy Cohen, and when he was on Andy Cohen, he said that he was initially sexually attracted to Bree, so then I was like, oh, that was a weird, like, Easter egg hunt. So, yeah, I was just curious what you thought about that. Have a great show. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Madeline. You're absolutely right. You're very smart. You guys are so smart. Yeah, he did on Andy Cohen say that his first, like, biggest sexual attraction was to Bree. So, I mean, you wonder, did he, you know, but obviously, did he know he was going to send Bree home? You know, what would he do? By the way, Katie says, come to Alaska. It is my dream to perform stand-up comedy in Alaska. I mean, Alaska would be an amazing place to go. I've got some friends that are from the state of Alaska, and they go up there and perform. It always looks like a blast. So definitely get on the email list. If Tasha and I can find a way to get to Alaska and do some stand-up shows, absolutely. And I know right now, Sunshine Tampa, absolutely. Tampa's got a great comedy scene. What's crazy about stand-up is you don't need to fill a stadium full of people. You know what I mean? If I'm going to be in a city, let's say Nashville, and there's a 100-seat theater, I really only have to have about 20 people in that market that are loyal, and they bring their table of friends, and then, you know, natural people walk up to the show, like, you know, people that don't know who's performing, you would come. Next thing you know, you got a couple hundred people there. So I'm telling you guys this, we're only at 23,000 subscribers, but judging by the way it's going, I want to get to over 100,000 this year. And then as we open up from the pandemic, L-Dog, we're going to have to use some of your amazing graphics, have a nice stand-up tour flyer, and like I said, get a bunch of Bachelor Nation involved, get some stand-up comedians that you know, are part of Bachelor Nation, and it'll be a ton of fun. Absolutely. I'm just saying it right now. If you build it, they will come. I'm starting to talk about it. And then as I compile that email list, we can get some more information out. Well, believe it or not, it looks like I got through all the voicemails. I guess I got a couple from earlier today, so let's play them.
Hey, Dave. I have a really, really, really important question for you. It's really imperative, so you have to answer it.
Okay.
I saw on your Instagram story that you wanted to ask Claire a really special question, and so I thought I'd do the same for you. Dave, what is your toe type?
You want to know my toe type?
You can't handle the truth.
I'm sorry, I can't take myself seriously. Okay. Yeah. You try answering the question, Dave. Huh?
Well, so I will answer the question. I've been talking about toe type for a while now. If you follow my other content. Oh, sorry. Hold on a second, guys. I've got all these apps open right here. I'm looking for my toe type Illuminati. So as you guys know, if you watch today's video, I was looking at Dale's toes, and I actually showed this to Tasha. It is so hard to make Tasha laugh. You know, Tasha doesn't like to laugh at my jokes. She's heard them all. She's heard the stories. I showed her this thing that I made, and she goes, that is the dumbest thing I've ever made in the world. So if we look at toe types over here, toe type, and let's see what we can pull up. My toe type is interesting because it's not, you got energetic. I guess mine would be more friendly than energetic. But if we were to look at the traditional toe types, hold on. Between Egyptian, I definitely don't have Roman because I don't have the 3 right here. And I think a lot of my family members have the Celtic, where the pointer finger is bigger. So mine is kind of like a combination between Egyptian and Celtic, where my pointer finger is about the same size, but then it slopes down. So it's actually not like Roman. It's actually like a combination between these. Or maybe mine's kind of Greek too. I'll tell you what it's not. It's not Germanic. Those Germanic people are crazy. God bless them. Dave, please let's do stand-up together in Calgary. All right, let's do. Wait, do you do stand-up, L-Dog? Sorry if I didn't know that. I'm a little all over the place here. We got to get out of here in a second. Let's see if we have any more voicemails. Yeah, I'm all about the toe tip. You know what the funny part is? Tasha was like, dude, everyone's going to think you have this crazy foot fetish. To be completely honest, you guys know how open I am. I could give two shits about people's toes. I got nothing on toes. There's just something funny about it to me. I don't know what it is. All right, let's play a couple more of these videos.
Hey Dave, it's Kristen from Rhode Island. I just heard in one of your YouTube videos that you drive a 2004 Toyota. I'm surprised it's not a Subaru if you're from Rhode Island, but I just wanted to say that I drive a 2003 Subaru. So I love that. I love the older cars. I mean, their value diminishes over time, so it really doesn't make sense to buy a brand new car. But anyway, just wanted to pass that along. I'm currently listening to your video on the Meghan Markle and Oprah interview. Thanks. Bye.
You know, I used to have, go over here to just an image here. I used to drive a Subaru, and it was one of my favorite cars ever. We called it the lesbian limo. Now listen, don't get mad at me for that. It's just alliteration, okay? It's not a big deal. Subarus are an amazing car. I love a Subaru Outback, but no, I drive an old Matrix. And my Toyota, it's just beat to crap right now. I mean, people have tried to rob it left and right. It's just a whole problem. Let's play a few more. Oh, you know what? That one's too long. Sorry. Let me see if there's any more here. I think that's it, guys. I think we got through all the voicemails. You guys have been fantastic here. Let's see. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss any comments. Webbed toes means intelligence. No, webbed toes means inbred. I'll tell you that much.
You cut the crap.
I don't know about that. Is there any historical genetic veracity to this toe type talk? I honestly have no idea. I have no idea. Sarah says Matt has massive bunions on his right foot. I saw during that yoga. I felt sorry for him. I'd love to be introduced as the toe expert. Our next guest is a Bachelor commentator and toe expert. Give it up for Dave. Danielle has one toe that sticks out and says hello. Thanks, Mom. Yeah, it's always the moms. Yeah, L-Dog, we'll have to talk about a good stand-up poster here or something Bachelor related. Calgary would be so much fun to get to. I think I got through everybody. We're going to have a busy one tomorrow. As far as I know, I'm making a video tomorrow about, I think I might be doing another Prince Harry video because some of the crazy hate they've been getting, that whole Piers Morgan thing, is just insane. So I think I'm going to be talking about that. I'm definitely going to make a video about Matt James and his father. And, when you grow up, you feel so alone. You feel like no one else has the same issues as you do. I was the only kid growing up who didn't have a dad. And I felt special, but I also felt like I remember being in the locker room playing hockey when I was like 7. The memories you have from a kid. And I remember no moms were in the locker room. It was all dads in the locker room tightening up their kids' pads and this and that. And I remember my mom had to be the one to do it. And it was sort of embarrassing because everyone knew, like, there's a mom in the locker room. And I remember that at 7 years old. But, like, God bless my mom for being so badass that she was able to take the role of two parents. I mean, really. You think you're all alone, and then you realize that part of whatever it is that makes you unique and whatever hurdles you have growing up are the things that make you more successful in the long term because of a certain perspective that you have. So it's all of our differences that we sort of use in our toolbox that make us unique. So for that, I wouldn't want it any other way. I will share the story about how I first met my dad. It involves Google, and it's pretty interesting. And he has since passed away. He's a Vietnam vet and fought hard for our country and struggled his whole life with PTSD. It's a fascinating story, and it was very interesting to meet my dad. And I'll tell you what, he kind of looked like, not like that. He kind of looked, I was trying to go, where's the Tarzan? He kind of looked like Tarzan. Anyway, let's see what you guys have to say. All right, Sunshine's got to go to bed. Go to bed in Tampa. It's 2 a.m. You have a good night. Milwaukee says, I think Rachel has depth, but attractive people usually get a bad rap because they're prejudged. You're absolutely right about that. Oh, Sarah Nash with $10. Thank you so much. The best reporter on YouTube. I appreciate you so much, Sarah Nash. Thank you so much.
You cut the crap.
You cut the crap on that one. I grew up with both parents, so I can't imagine what it's like growing up with a single parent. My heart goes out to y'all that had to go through that. Here's what I like to tell people. You just don't know what you don't know. I didn't know what it was like to have a dad. That's it. In art class, when you're in 4th grade, the week of Father's Day, everyone's writing Father's Day cards. Yeah, I'd write them to my Uncle Craig. He got a Father's Day card. That's just how it was. And it's going to sound cheesy, but my mom always said growing up that because I wasn't raised by a dad, that I was given extra skills. My mom told me that God was looking after me. And, it was nice to have a mom that was, that was able to pass like her spirituality down to me and let me know that there's a bigger thing at work there and that it's not necessarily, like I wasn't a victim. I wasn't a victim for not having a dad. Just a different set of circumstances. I'm healthy, I'm happy, and my family's great. Alrighty. Should we get out of here? I'm just trying to read what you guys are. Someone told me I play with my microphone too much, and I was like, this is an expensive microphone. I'm going to play with it as much as I want to. I love to move this thing around. That's all I got. Where's Karen? Yeah, we haven't seen Karen in a while. I don't know. I hope Karen's okay. Sarah said I had a lot of respect for his dad for acting the way he did. He seems to care. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I can't imagine what it's like to be an absentee father and like think your son's doing fine without you, and you're like, you want to talk and you don't. 1 week turns into a year turns into 5 years. I mean, how special? Let's end on this high note. How special was it for Matt James to talk about his dad would show up randomly with sneakers, his dad would show up randomly with pizza, and for Matt James to like so like emotionally say, I didn't need pizza, Dad. Like, he didn't need pizza, he needed you. And that's just like a love language thing. Dad's trying to make up for lost time. Hey, here's some new shoes, kid. That's not what I want, Dad. I want you. Very, very, very special stuff. Ali says, Happy International Women's Day. Cheers to your mom. Absolutely. Cheers to my mom, and cheers to all the women out there. I kind of meant to shout this out, but I'm actually sorry I didn't talk about this. We had so much going on. So let's end on this. Rachel, whether it's performative or not, Rachel Kirkconnell had posted to Happy International Women's Day. We have come so far. 2021, the year of the first woman vice president after 100 years of getting the right to vote. And that's white women having the right to vote after 100 years. A record number of women CEOs in the Fortune 500. It's still 8%. Scotland became the first country in the world to have free and universal access to menstrual products. There you go.
You cut the crap.
Women have played huge roles scientifically. They cured COVID. Thank you so much, ladies. And then in that, there's still so far to go. U.S. is ranked 53rd in the world for gender equity. It's also the only industrialized nation to not guarantee family paid leave. This is a huge problem that we have. The fact that we're not taking care of our moms after they give birth, and our dads. We face inequality and underrepresentation in almost every category across the board. So go to Rachel's page and see all the ways that she's talking about the actions that still need to be taken. Today and every day, we have to work to create a society where the lives of women are valued. And look at this, some photos of Rachel Kirkconnell and her family, friends. Are they in dresses at a pool, hanging out, drinking some Cook's champagne? And what else do we have here? Use your power to change. Use your power to change today. Women. And then she posted some other things about women who are getting shit done. And what's interesting, though, is this was her final post here. Matt, I hope Rachel is fired up today. Rachel, just looking dead. Funny stuff, guys. All right, listen, you guys have been amazing. I have to record the recap. We're going to have a very busy day tomorrow, so stay in touch. And I think I'll respond to a few comments, but let me just double check. Let's make sure I didn't get any last minute voicemails. I hate it when I don't get to a voicemail. It looks like we got to all the voicemails. I didn't put the voicemail number up, which is why we didn't get inundated, but sometimes we have too many. So anyway, thank you guys so much. Happy Women's Day. Oh, and also, again, I wanted to do a final shout out to the National Lawyers Guild in Minnesota. You can always hit pause on this video and rewind it, but that's the PayPal. And screen grab that. And also, sorry, Oz, I wanted to get to yours. Oh, hold on, I gotta find it. Don't go anywhere. Is it this one? Jeez, hold on 1 second, guys. make sure you hook up Oz. He's working he's the moderator of the hour. He's making sure everyone's safe and respectful in the comment section, kicking at those trolls. So make sure to give Oz a nice slice of cheddar. Helps him out as he's over there in the great country of Canada. Maybe Oz can be my Canadian reporter for The Bachelor in Paradise. Get us in there and find out what's going to go on with the the BIP. You know me. Maggie says, love your face, Dave. Oh, thank you so much, Maggie. We love you right back. Thumbs up. Yes, please leave me a thumbs up. Kate, Dave, what would you like to see on After the Final Rose? I just want to see conversations where it's amazing how good Oprah is of an interviewer. She was able to talk to Prince Harry and Meghan, and when Oprah didn't get the clarity she wanted from the question, she just would reform it and ask again. She would have the conversation as a back and forth in a way that broke down what the heck they were talking about. So as an audience, we could get answers. I just hope that the conversation that happens with Emmanuel Acho goes in a direction where we get real deep answers from people. We get people that pledge, I just want to see, I want to see everyone's true colors. I want to know that I'm watching it and I believe what people have to say. And if hopefully they have enough time to make all that happen. I hate the format. I hate how fast paced it normally is. It's obviously pre-edited. If you want to see the spoiler on who was announced as the next Bachelorette, I made that video earlier today, and I've been in communication with the next Bachelorette. And let me just say, I think we're in for a treat. I really do. I think it's going to be a very special Bachelorette, and I think she's going to really just shatter a lot of norms, and I think it's going to be good. So anyway, thank you so much, Bethany. Thank you for everyone who's out there. You guys have been amazing. Big day tomorrow. I'm going to go record it right now. So again, I appreciate y'all so much. Don't forget to cut the crap.
You can't handle
and I'll see you guys later. All right? Bye, guys. All right, Patricia, I'll share my story tomorrow. You can hear the full story. It's a good one. Thanks, Brianna. I appreciate you. Hey, thanks, Huey, for being a part of the chat. I will be spending the rest of the evening deleting all these tabs. Hey, Little Step from Czech Republic, just seeing your message. Good to see you.